Welcome, deep divers, to another journey into the captivating stories behind the names you know. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into the fascinating world of Ricky Velez. He's an American stand-up comedian, writer, actor, really making waves right now. We're going to go beyond, the quick headlines and viral clips to truly understand the man behind the laughs and the significant, often kind of intensely personal journey he's taken to get where he is today.
That's a great way to put it.
Yes.
Yeah. Ricky Velez's story is particularly compelling because it offers a sort of modern archetype for success in comedy and entertainment. It's this narrative arc. It traces his path from like humble beginnings through navigating some really significant personal struggles all the way to acclaimed collaborations with some huge names in the industry and ultimately that highly praised HBO special.
Right.
What we're aiming to do today is kind of dissect his unique voice. It feels so authentically his own. And understand how that raw authenticity is woven into, well, every piece of his work, shaping not just his comedy, but his whole artistic persona, really.
Precisely. Our main source today is a really comprehensive Wikipedia entry, which actually offers a surprisingly rich tapestry of his life and career. Gives us plenty to work with. Our mission for you, our listener, is to unearth those key moments, the pivotal relationships, and those profound insights that have truly shaped Ricky Velez. We want to give you a complete, well-rounded picture of his remarkable rise. So settle in, because we're going to unpack his journey, explore the nuances of his comedic voice, and really get to the why behind his rapidly rising star. It's a story of grit, humor, and, well, profound self-discovery. To truly grasp the essence of Ricky Velez, we got to start right at the beginning with his foundational years, his Queens roots, and early life. Our sources tell us he was born in 88 or 89, making him, 35 or 36 now?
Down there.
And proudly raised in Queens, New York. This isn't just a simple geographical detail, is it?
Well, not at all.
We learn he comes from what's described as a blue-collar family, has 2 brothers, and quite interestingly, his heritage is a blend half Puerto Rican and half Irish.
Right. And that seemingly simple cluster of facts, it offers a tremendous amount of context, shapes everything that follows. That blue-collar Queens upbringing is absolutely critical. It grounds his entire perspective, infuses his comedy with this raw, relatable authenticity. When you listen to Velez, you often hear humor that's not just witty, but sometimes kind of gritty, born from understanding everyday struggles, the kind of hard work that defines those communities.
It's not polished.
Exactly. It's not the polished, distant humor of someone disconnected from daily life. This is humor from the streets, from the family dinner table, from those shared neighborhood experiences. It means his observations carry this weight of lived experience, makes them universally understood, even when they're specific.
And that mixed heritage, half Puerto Rican, half Irish, that's got to offer a really unique lens, doesn't it, through which he views culture, identity.
Oh, absolutely.
That lens can't help but influence his comedic voice, the observations he makes about the world, and crucially about himself.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's far more than just a demographic detail. It's like a profound wellspring for unique comedic material and perspective. Imagine the cultural touchstones, right? The distinct family stories, traditions, maybe even the occasional clash of expectations from both sides.
Totally.
All of that becomes fertile ground for observational humor. Like, he might craft a bit contrasting the specific, maybe boisterous celebrations of his Puerto Rican family with the more reserved or, maybe equally boisterous but different traditions of his Irish relatives.
Yeah, I can picture that.
This kind of stuff allows him to highlight universal family dynamics through culturally specific lenses, creates this powerful humor of recognition for listeners who navigate similar cultural mixes or just appreciate family complexities. This dual identity gives him a vantage point many comedians just don't have, allows him to bridge different experiences with a unique voice. And yeah, the detail about 2 brothers might seem small, but it hints at early social dynamics,
Yeah.
Potential rivalries, sibling camaraderie, all those foundational influences that shape a young person. The family unit is always a comedian's first and often most enduring source of material and character development.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting about those early influences. Our source gives this specific anecdote. One of his brothers played a pivotal role, introduced him to stand-up comedy. We're talking those half-hour specials on Comedy Central, iconic shows like The Daily Show. That's not just passive consumption, right? That's an early organic connection. Must have truly sparked something deep within him, planted a very important seed.
You're absolutely right. It's incredibly significant. It wasn't just stumbling upon comedy. It was an active, maybe even enthusiastic introduction by family. which often gives it a different kind of personal weight, you know?
Yeah.
It's just this early, almost unconscious immersion into the world of comedy. Watching those specials, The Daily Show, wouldn't just have been entertainment. They'd serve as foundational lessons in timing, the art of the punchline, satire, the craft of storytelling.
Yeah, like learning the language.
Exactly. This wasn't a kid who just decided out of the blue to be a comedian. This was someone who grew up with the art form kind of woven into the fabric of his home life. Suggests a very natural, almost destined path toward the stage. It indicates comedy became a language he understood and appreciated really young, long before he even thought of it as a career.
So we've got this rich foundation laid in Queens, blue-collar roots, vibrant cultural mix, early exposure to comedy via his brother. But the path to becoming a stand-up wasn't exactly a straight line, was it?
No, definitely not.
With that home life as our backdrop, let's explore his formative education and some truly unexpected detours he took.
Indeed. His journey was anything but a straight shot. Velez studied drama at the Frank Sinatra School of the Arts in Astoria, Queens.
Okay, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a crucial detail. Immediately tells us he had an early innate inclination towards performance, storytelling. Attending a renowned art school isn't just a casual hobby. It means he was actively honing fundamental skills: stage presence, vocal projection, understanding character, grasping narrative structure, long before he ever picked up a mic for stand-up.
Right, those weren't wasted years.
Not at all. They were a foundational education in the craft of engaging an audience, allowing him to command a stage, project his unique voice, structure a joke like a mini-narrative, ensuring even his personal stories have a clear beginning, middle, punchy end, not just rambling thoughts. That formal training undoubtedly gave him a professional edge later on.
But then, after high school, things took a different turn. Attended college for less than a year, common enough story, figuring things out. But then returned to Queens, and here's where it gets kind of unexpected. He attempted to join the military, but was denied.
Wow.
And then worked a variety of odd jobs, including for a friend's carpet company, where he would lay carpet for red carpet events. That's quite the image, isn't it? The contrast feels almost designed for a comedian.
It is, and it's incredibly insightful into his character and development. The brief college stint, the military denial, they aren't just footnotes. They indicate this significant period of searching, uncertainty, maybe some frustration.
Yeah, relatable.
Totally. So many people relate to that post-high school struggle, not finding your right path, doors closing unexpectedly. These detours likely instilled a profound sense of resilience in him, taught him to adapt, persist, more importantly, probably gave him a deeper, more empathetic understanding of life outside conventional routes. Broadened his perspective, fueled a desire for self-definition. It's experience that grounds you, gives you unique material, solidifies that blue-collar work ethic.
And that carpet company job, laying carpet for red carpet events, the sheer irony is almost too perfect.
Oh, yeah.
He was literally on the red carpet, but totally unseen by the glamorous figures walking it. It's a fantastic contrast.
It's laden with significance. Offers a goldmine of observations. Imagine the unique perspective that job would give you. He was on the periphery of fame, witnessing the staging, the spectacle from the ground up. Literally.
Right.
This undoubtedly gave him a unique, maybe even a bit cynical or satirical view on celebrity in the entertainment industry. It's the ultimate behind-the-curtain experience, but for someone laying the very floor for the show. This anonymity, this role as an unseen observer, likely shaped his eventual public persona, gave him an outsider's eye on the very world he'd later inhabit as a performer. He saw the illusion being created, the work involved, the stark difference between the setup reality and the event glamour.
Teaches you humility.
Exactly. Humility and the value of hard work, which, as we said, hallmarks of his Queen's roots.
I can't help but wonder how these early experiences, especially that military denial, might have specifically channeled his need for expression, maybe pushed him towards a different kind of challenge, towards the spotlight. The contrast between the anonymity of laying carpet and being a stand-up comedian is just so stark. You can almost imagine him observing, collecting material during those hours.
That's a great observation. The military denial might have closed one door, but it very likely nudged him towards others, perhaps subconsciously. When you have that deep need for expression, for challenge, for purpose, and one conventional path is blocked, you seek another. The anonymity of the carpet job, like you said, wouldn't stifle his observations, it'd sharpen them. He was an observer, a silent collector of data points on human behavior, on the absurdity of spectacle, on the vast disparity between those laying the carpet and those walking it. All of that becomes invaluable material for a comedian, offering a unique, often ironic, deeply human perspective that makes his voice distinctive. These early experiences didn't just lead him back to Queens, they propelled him with this unique arsenal of insights. Towards the very beginnings of his stand-up career, he was building his comedic toolkit long before he knew it.
So we've seen the groundwork laid, the detours taken, and now we arrive at a truly pivotal point, the genesis of Ricky Velez, the comedian. Our sources tell us that at like 19, after returning to Queens, he started working at the Broadway Comedy Club.
Mm-hmm.
And this wasn't just any job. He was taking tickets while performing stand-up nightly. That sounds intense, a relentless grind.
It absolutely does, and it immediately highlights that pay your dues mentality. So common, often essential in stand-up. Working the door while performing reflects an incredibly deep commitment. It means he was utterly immersed in that environment, breathing the air of live comedy, watching others, learning the rhythm of the room, and then stepping onto that stage himself night after night, trying out his own material.
Oh.
It's an apprenticeship in its rawest form. The learning never stops. This period alone speaks volumes about his dedication, his resilience, shows a person willing to literally work his way from the club's periphery to the stage's center. He was living and breathing comedy, absorbing it through every pore.
What's particularly insightful here is the candidness about his personal struggles during this time. The source explicitly states he was dealing with depression and felt he needed the instant gratification that stand-up gives. That's powerful, isn't it?
It really is.
Transforms comedy from just a career choice into something far more personal, therapeutic, a lifeline almost.
This is truly a powerful insight. And it's where Velez's profound vulnerability, a hallmark of his success, really starts to shine. Acknowledging depression, finding solace in the instant gratification of stand-up, immediately creates a deeper connection with audiences, because so many can relate to seeking an outlet during tough times. It tells us that for him, comedy isn't just about getting laughs or building a career. It's a vital personal outlet.
Right.
A way to process emotions, find meaning, receive immediate validation, that laughter, that connection, which can be incredibly therapeutic, affirming when you're struggling internally. This kind of honesty, the internal drive it represents, is a core part of what makes his voice so authentic, so resonant. It's not just performance, it's self-expression and healing. Many comedians talk about that instant gratification, and it's almost addictive, right? That immediate feedback loop. Your words elicit a direct, tangible response. For someone battling depression, that loop can be vital. Affirmation, connection.
It was at this very Broadway Comedy Club that he met Pete Davidson, who, as we now know, would later become his roommate. This is truly pivotal, isn't it?
Monumental. A true turning point.
Where a significant friendship began to form, a connection that would ripple through his career for years.
Yeah, this friendship became a bedrock for future collaborations. Mutual support, shared experiences, invaluable in a field like comedy. So competitive, often solitary. Think about the late nights, the shared dreams, the struggles of two young, ambitious comedians trying to make it in New York, navigating the grind. That kind of camaraderie, especially when you're both dealing with personal challenges like Velez was, forms an incredibly strong bond. It demonstrates the profound importance of community, informal mentorship in creative fields. These weren't just two guys sharing rent. They were two artists shaping each other's understanding of the craft, the industry, becoming each other's first, most honest audience. They were building a foundation for future creative partnership, maybe without even realizing it then.
You can almost imagine the energy of that Broadway Comedy Club at night. Dim lights, sticky floors, clinking glasses, the buzz from the audience, and then the raw vulnerability of these young comedians on stage, performing their hearts out. And amidst all that, the camaraderie forming backstage, that crucible must have been incredibly formative.
Absolutely. It's a vivid image. Picture it. The pressure of bombing, the exhilaration of landing a joke, the diverse crowds. Then the quiet conversations backstage, shared frustrations, celebrated small victories. That's where lifelong bonds are forged, and where a comedian truly finds their voice. For a performer, this is where you learn to read a room, to fail publicly, to pick yourself up, refine your material under fire. It's an environment that strips away pretense, demands authenticity, which, as we're seeing, is a core characteristic of Velez's appeal. This early grind, this significant friendship, would soon lead to much broader recognition, opportunities beyond the club circuit.
And those broader opportunities certainly came knocking. We move now to what I'm calling the ascent, a period marked by significant competition wins, valuable TV exposure. Our sources highlight a big moment in 2014. Velez won the prestigious New York's Funniest Stand-Up competition at the New York Comedy Festival. That's more than just a trophy, isn't it? It's a major statement.
That win was absolutely a major validation, a clear demarcation point in his career. Not just a trophy, it catapulted him into the professional comedy scene. Significant visibility within the industry. This was a clear signal to agents, bookers, producers. Velez was a talent to watch, proven his mettle in a highly competitive environment.
Right.
For any comedians, winning a comp like that is often the moment. Years of grinding in clubs finally pays off. Opens doors previously shut, moves them from local talent to a recognized, legitimate force in the New York comedy landscape. Gives you a platform, a stamp of approval that truly matters.
And as a direct result of that win, he landed a role as one of the contributors for The Nightly Show with Larry Wilmore. Ran from 2015 to 2016. That's national television, a dream gig for many.
Huge.
However, interestingly, Velez himself expressed that the experience taught him he didn't actually enjoy making daily television. That's a surprising and rather mature piece of self-reflection.
It's an incredibly insightful piece of self-awareness. Speaks volumes about his artistic priorities, his time on The Nightly Show. Invaluable experience. National TV setting, exposure, platform many dream of. Gained first-hand experience working fast-paced, high-pressure, learning topical humor, demands of a daily broadcast schedule. But his realization that he didn't enjoy it, crucial for understanding his long-term career path, shows a mature understanding of what kind of work truly energizes him versus what might just be a stepping stone. Easy to get caught up in the allure of daily TV, right? But knowing yourself well enough to step back, redirect your energy, sign of immense strength. Commitment to maintaining his unique voice, passion, allowed him to pivot to forms of comedy that felt more authentic, fulfilling.
Okay, here's where this period takes a truly profound, heartbreaking turn. Tragically, his mother died in 2016. A few months before The Nightly Show was canceled. The source describes this as a particularly tough period, understandably so. But what stands out is how he used his stand-up performances, particularly at the New York Comedy Club, as part of his healing process. That's a powerful testament to the role of art in personal grief.
This profound connection, his mother's death, the show's cancellation, his return to stand-up for healing, it's incredibly moving. Speaks volumes about the depth of Ricky Velez. Highlights comedy's dual role. Career and profound, almost primal, coping mechanism. For many artists, their craft isn't just a job. It's intrinsically linked to their emotional, psychological well-being, a space where they can process life's most difficult experiences. Using the stage, a public platform, to process such immense grief and loss demonstrates remarkable vulnerability, resilience. Shows he wasn't just performing jokes. He was channeling his deepest, rawest personal experiences into his art, which inevitably makes his performances richer, more authentic, deeply resonant for an audience. This period underscores the raw emotional power underlying much of his comedy, transforming pain into shared human experience through humor.
I'm curious, how might the intensity, the structured nature of daily television have contrasted with the more personal, flexible nature of stand-up, especially for someone relying on it for emotional processing during such a difficult time? What does this period reveal about the resilience needed in creative careers?
That's an excellent point. Daily television, especially topical shows, demands a certain detachment. You're analyzing headlines, crafting jokes on current events, often hitting specific beats, maintaining a persona within tight external deadlines. Structured, external-facing, driven by the news cycle. Stand-up, particularly in a club setting, offers completely different freedom. Deeply personal, allows for improv, raw emotional expression, direct, unmediated connection with the audience. For someone processing immense grief, the structured, maybe impersonal nature of daily TV might have felt restrictive, superficial even, inauthentic to his internal state, whereas stand-up would provide an immediate, unfiltered outlet for his pain, his vulnerability.
Makes sense.
The resilience here isn't just about continuing to perform, it's about discerning which medium best serves his personal and artistic needs during a crisis, about adapting his craft to his deepest emotional requirements, a powerful act of self-preservation, artistic integrity. This discernment is key to why his career path feels so authentic.
And it wasn't just The Nightly Show keeping him busy. He also played guest roles in various TV shows during this period, including an episode of Crashing in 2018. So even as he was figuring out his preferred medium, coping with loss, he was still building his resume, honing his craft in different formats.
You're right. These guest roles are essential for any rising performer. Provide exposure, allow him to gain experience on different sets, keep him visible within the industry, demonstrate range, versatility. Crashing, especially, being a show about stand-up comedians, would have been a natural, valuable fit, offering networking opportunities within the very world he was so committed to. It's all part of building momentum. Even while navigating profound personal challenges, clarifying his artistic direction shows he was always moving forward, always learning.
So from late-night TV contributor grappling with immense personal loss, Ricky Velez's journey now takes a significant turn towards Hollywood, bringing him back together with a longtime friend for a major film collaboration.
And this next chapter is indeed significant, marks a clear upward trajectory. We're talking the Hollywood partnership that brought us The King of Staten Island, released in 2021. Semi-biographical story about, his friend Pete Davidson, directed by the legendary Judd Apatow. What's truly notable here is Velez's deep involvement. Co-starred as Oscar, but also served as a writer and producer on the film. That's a powerful, multifaceted role.
That's a huge step, isn't it? From grinding in comedy clubs, contributing to TV shows, to being co-star, co-writer, co-producer on a major Hollywood film, really showcases his talents extending far beyond just stand-up. And the story behind his casting is quite personal. Cast in June 2019 after Pete Davidson, his longtime best friend, personally asked him to audition for the part of one of his close friends, specifically one who's a bad influence on Davidson's character. That's a candid reflection of their real-life dynamic brought to screen.
This project genuinely represents a truly significant, multifaceted leap for Velez. Demonstrates profound trust from both Apatow and Davidson. Shows they recognize his capabilities extended far beyond just performing on stage. Being co-star, co-writer, co-producer means he wasn't just an actor for hire, he was integral, shaping the narrative, the creative vision. The story of Davidson personally asking him to audition for a role mirroring their friendship, testament to their deep bond, Velez's authentic personality. The bad influence detail adds that layer of humor, reality to their dynamic, reflects the complex, often messy, but deeply loyal nature of real friendships. It's a profound full-circle moment, right? Struggling roommates to collaborating on a major Hollywood production, drawing directly from their shared history. Underscores how deep personal relationships can fuel significant artistic endeavors.
What's also highlighted is Velez's excitement about dealing with topics like mental health in the film. Ties directly back to his personal experiences. His use of comedy for healing reinforces that authenticity, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It's a crucial thread through his entire career. His excitement to address mental health themes isn't just a passing comment. It's a direct echo of his own journey. Using stand-up to cope with depression, grief, reinforces the idea that for Velez, art is intrinsically intertwined with personal experience, healing. Shows he's not just interested in surface-level entertainment, but using his platform to explore meaningful, vulnerable issues, resonating with a wide audience.
Yeah.
This commitment to authenticity, this desire to turn personal struggle into shared understanding, core part of his artistic identity, explains why his work connects so deeply. He wants to talk about the messy, real stuff. The King of Staten Island provided an ideal vehicle.
And as if that wasn't enough career momentum, in 2021, a big industry stamp of approval. Velez was signed by William Morris Endeavor WME, major talent agency. That's a clear signal, isn't it, when you know you've truly arrived on the national stage.
Signing with WME is an unequivocal indicator. Rapidly rising profile, significant industry recognition. It's the kind of move that marks an artist as a significant talent with broad potential. Signals the industry sees him not just as a comedian, but as a versatile performer, writer, producer with a promising future across multiple platforms. Opens doors to even bigger projects, further collaborations, solidifies his position as a serious player. This transition, club stages, TV contributions, to multi-hyphenate role in a major film, then securing representation with a top agency. Classic trajectory of a burgeoning star. Shows his hard work, talent, authentic voice were now undeniable to the industry's gatekeepers.
So this film collaboration, testament to his friendship with Davidson, plus the agency signing, truly set the stage for Ricky Velez's most significant personal introduction to the world. A moment years in the making.
And that introduction arrived in a truly impactful way. Judd Apatow, clearly recognizing Velez's talent, their collaborative chemistry on King of Staten Island, stepped in to help Velez release his first stand-up special, Ricky Velez. Here's Everything. HBO, October 2021.
Huge platform.
Massive. Yeah. And the fact it was executive produced by both Apatow and Pete Davidson really underscores their strong belief in Velez's comedic voice. His material, his unique ability to connect, powerful endorsement from two titans of comedy.
This HBO special feels like the culmination of everything we've talked about. Queen's roots, struggles, resilience, friendships. The special directly addresses themes of mental health, his family, and Velez himself described it as me introducing myself to the world.
That's such an intimate, revealing statement for a first major special, isn't it? Suggests profound vulnerability.
It truly is the culmination. Years of hard work, personal growth, and critically, industry support from those who recognized his unique talent. The thematic focus on mental health, family, not incidental, reinforces the deeply personal, vulnerable nature of his comedy. It's what allows him to connect with audiences on profoundly human issues, turning his specific experiences into universally understood insights. His description, introducing myself to the world, perfectly captures that intimate, revealing tone.
Right. He's not just telling jokes. He's laying bare his experiences, struggles, heritages, everything, inviting the audience to understand him on a deeper, more empathetic level. This kind of honesty is incredibly disarming, powerful, forges a deep connection beyond mere laughter. He's saying, this is who I am, entirely, flaws and all.
There's a memorable detail about the filming location, too. Originally, he tried to film it at his high school alma mater, Frank Sinatra School of the Arts, but the Board of Education didn't permit it.
Oh, wow.
Eventually filmed over 2 shows at Brooklyn Steel, August 28, 2021. Most footage used from the second show, quite the journey just to get it filmed, facing hurdles even then.
That anecdote is fantastic, speaks volumes about Velez's clear desire to connect back to his roots. To film this deeply personal intro in a place that specifically shaped him. Even though the vision wasn't fully realized, the intention is palpable. It tells us about his enduring connection to his past, and the fact it was eventually filmed at Brooklyn Steel after touring for 5 months prior to develop and refine material, and did so during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Highlights incredible dedication, resilience.
Yeah, during the pandemic. Crazy.
Imagine honing your craft, testing new material, performing live, connecting with audiences in such challenging, isolating times, when the world itself was grappling with unprecedented uncertainty. That rigorous process, touring, refining, especially during a global crisis, would undoubtedly infuse the material with even greater urgency, introspection, raw honesty, making the eventual special that much more potent, relatable to an audience that had also experienced profound disruption.
And the reception to all that hard work, dedication, personal vulnerability was overwhelmingly positive. Received glowing reviews. Jason Zeineman of the New York Times described it as a solid introduction to a spiky, propulsive comedy. That's high praise. Confirms his arrival as a significant voice.
That positive critical reception, especially from the Times, isn't just a nice comment. It solidifies his standing, validates his unique style. Zeineman's description: spiky hints at its sharp edges, willingness to tackle uncomfortable truths, puncturing norms or pretensions with a quick, incisive line, and propulsive. Could describe his energetic delivery, how he builds momentum with cadence, pacing, driving towards a comedic revelation or poignant punchline without letting the audience disengage. This critical endorsement, after years of grind, personal challenges, unwavering commitment, confirmed his authentic, vulnerable approach was resonating, not just with audiences, but with tastemakers, critics too. It was the moment the world truly met Ricky Velez and liked what it saw.
I'm left thinking about how touring and refining his material during the isolation, the uncertainty of a pandemic, might have particularly influenced the introspective, deeply personal nature of that special. What does it mean for a comedian to finally introduce themselves to a mass audience after so many years of development, especially when the world is in such a strange, vulnerable place?
That's a profound question. Adds incredible depth to the special's impact. The pandemic era stripped away usual distractions, forced deeper introspection for everyone. For a comedian like Velez, already drawing heavily from personal life, that period of collective isolation, uncertainty, would have intensified his focus on internal experiences, universal human struggles. Might have made his material even more raw, more honest, more relatable. Because everyone was experiencing a form of communal vulnerability.
Right, shared experience.
Exactly. To finally introduce yourself to the world after such a period when collective grief, anxiety were so palpable, means you're presenting a fully formed, deeply considered version of yourself, honed in a crucible of both personal and global challenges. It's an introduction imbued with weight, wisdom, fierce authenticity, creating an immediate, powerful bond with an audience more receptive to genuine connection than ever before. And with his introduction complete, Velez clearly wasn't resting. He continues to expand his presence across different media.
And that expansion truly shows. Diverse roles, personal milestones since the special. In 2023, for instance, Velez portrayed Alice in the TV comedy Single Drunk Female, not just a one-off, recurring character. Former boss, eventual boyfriend of the main character, Sam, across 6 episodes. That's significant growth as an actor, more developed character arc, showcasing a different side.
It absolutely is. Demonstrates his increasing versatility beyond stand-up. Taking on a recurring role like Alex with a developed arc shows he's not just limited to comedic guest spots or playing versions of himself. Capable of embodying a character who evolves, navigates complex relationships, contributes meaningfully to a storyline. This versatility across film, TV highlights his range beyond purely comedic roles, though his natural humor undoubtedly informs how he approaches these parts. It's a strategic move. Broaden his appeal, demonstrate his acting chops, show he can inhabit a character for an extended period, bring nuance to a more dramatic-leaning comedy.
Beyond Single Drunk Female, the source lists quite a few other film and TV appearances. Films like I Love My Dad, The Listener in 2022, even Scrawny Boone in Good Burger 2 in 2023.
Yeah.
On TV, Master of None, Pause with Sam J, Bupkis, even voice work for 10-year-old Tom. This consistent presence across varied projects really highlights a strong work ethic, doesn't it? Desire to explore all facets of the industry.
It truly does. This comprehensive list isn't just about accumulating roles. It indicates a consistent, disciplined presence. Shows he's always working, always pushing his boundaries. Highlights a strong work ethic, clear commitment to expanding his career beyond the stand-up stage. Each role, big or small, contributes to his experience, allows him to work with different directors, actors, keeps him visible to casting agents. Playing a scrawny goon in Good Burger 2 might seem small, but shows willingness to embrace varied comedic roles, tapping into more physical or character-driven humor.
Different muscles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Different from his observational stand-up. His appearance in Bupkis, alongside Pete Davidson again, underscores that enduring collaborative spirit, mutual support in his circle, shows how those early bonds continue to bear fruit professionally. It's a smart way to build a sustainable, multifaceted career, showcasing ability to adapt to various genres, formats, voice work to film cameos.
And then, circling back to his personal life, we get more nuanced details, add even more depth. The period when he was roommates with Pete Davidson in Brooklyn Heights, Velez was 21, described as fun but unhealthy. That's a very honest reflection, especially looking back on younger years.
It's incredibly honest. Adds another crucial layer of realism to their friendship narrative. Reflects a realistic growth from wild youth to more mature adulthood, a journey many people can relate to. Those early adult years, often chaotic mix. Exhilarating freedom, questionable choices, intense self-discovery. Acknowledging that period as fun but unhealthy speaks to a level of self-awareness, maturity that enriches his personal story. Shows he's reflected on his past with an honest eye.
Right.
Paints a more complete picture of who he was, how he's evolved, which, again, makes him more relatable, authentic. Implies a journey of learning, navigating pitfalls of youth, ultimately striving for self-improvement, a healthier path. Powerful insight into the foundations of his friendship with Davidson, forged not just in fun, but in navigating challenges together.
And we've touched on his mother's death in 2016, how stand-up became part of his healing during that tough time. But the source adds a really important detail. During the pandemic, when stand-up wasn't available as an outlet due to lockdowns, Velez started attending therapy. That's a powerful statement about mental well-being. Commitment to self-care.
Tremendously important detail. Speaks directly to his ongoing commitment to mental well-being beyond just relying on his art. When his primary coping mechanism, stand-up, that instant gratification, was curtailed by the pandemic, he proactively sought professional help. This not only demonstrates personal growth, conscious commitment to his own health, but also plays a significant role in destigmatizing therapy, seeking help for mental health challenges.
Yeah, that's huge.
For a public figure to share this honestly sends a powerful message. It's okay, even necessary, to seek professional support when you need it, rather than just relying on previous coping mechanisms. Reinforces the depth of personal honesty that's core to his appeal. Shows willingness to adapt, grow, even facing new challenges. It's a real act of courage.
And finally, a truly heartwarming detail. He has a son, born in 2018, who can actually be seen playing guitar at the end of his 2021 HBO special. Such a poignant touch. Connecting his personal life directly to his most significant artistic output. Glimpse into his world as a father.
It's a beautiful full-circle moment. Provides a deeply human touch to his public persona. The detail about his son, especially his appearance at the end of the HBO special. Profoundly heartwarming, poignant. Reveals a softer, more grounded side to Velez. Signals a new chapter, new motivations. Provides a tangible, emotional link between his intensely personal life and artistic output. Having a child fundamentally changes perspective, priorities, and certainly material.
Oh, yeah.
Likely infuses his comedy with a new layer of vulnerability, responsibility, humor only fatherhood can bring, allowing him to tap into a whole new wellspring of relatable experiences. It's a powerful visual testament to how his personal life intertwines with his public performance, glimpse into the depth of his character beyond the jokes, into the profound joy grounding that family provides.
So if we consider his entire journey from that fun but unhealthy living situation with Pete Davidson Through navigating immense personal loss to embracing fatherhood and therapy, how do you think that progression potentially influences his comedic perspective and material now? What does it say about finding balance, maturity, while somehow maintaining that sharp artistic edge we know him for?
It speaks volumes about his evolution as an artist and a person. The journey from fun but unhealthy period to embracing fatherhood, actively attending therapy, suggests profound shift in priorities, deeper engagement with self-reflection, growth. This evolution likely provides him with richer, more complex material. His comedy can now draw from wisdom gained through mistakes, the profound joys and daily frustrations of parenting, insights gleaned from therapy, allowing him to find humor in both the past wildness and present responsibilities. Creates a more balanced, nuanced comedic voice.
Yeah, makes sense.
He doesn't lose his spiky, propulsive edge. Rather, that authenticity is still there. But it's now informed by greater maturity, empathy, a more rounded perspective on life's complexities. He's not softening his edge, he's broadening its scope, making his observations more resonant, his humor more profound, precisely because it's rooted in a more complete understanding of the human experience. It's about evolving as a person, allowing that evolution to fuel his art, not diminish it, making his work even more layered, compelling.
What an incredible trajectory we've explored today. Ricky Velez's journey, truly a testament to resilience, relentless dedication, and above all, authenticity. We've seen him rise from a blue-collar upbringing in Queens, navigate the intense world of comedy clubs, confront profound personal struggles, and ultimately emerge as a celebrated comedian, writer, actor with that major HBO special, significant film and TV roles. It's a journey filled with both grit and grace.
Indeed. What makes Ricky Velez truly stand out, what we've seen consistently, is his profound, authentic vulnerability, his unwavering willingness to weave his entire personal narrative, mental health, deep grief, family, complex friendships, struggles of self-discovery into the very fabric of his comedy. His unique ability to take everything from his life, distill those raw, often messy experiences into relatable, spiky, propulsive comedy is precisely what resonates so deeply with his audience. He's a living, breathing testament to how deeply personal experience, shared with such honesty, courage, comedic skill, can be transformed into universal art that truly connects, heals.
And that brings us to a thought for you, our listener, to mull over long after this deep dive concludes. Ricky Velez's journey, his special Here's Everything, remind us that true insight often comes from embracing our whole complicated selves, courageously sharing our personal stories, finding the humor and healing in our own messiness. So what parts of everything in your life are waiting to be explored, understood, and perhaps even shared?
A powerful and reflective thought to end on.
Yeah.
We deeply encourage you to seek out Ricky Velez's work. Whether it's this critically acclaimed HBO special, Here's Everything, his film appearances, or his various television roles, to experience his unique voice firsthand. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the remarkable and inspiring world of Ricky Velez. We'll catch you next time.